bright, crystal blue water is what you'd expect to find in the Caribbean, right? Well, brace yourself for a surprise because the Gulf of Mexico has a hidden gem hiding in its murky waters. Just off the coast of Veracruz, there's a little spot waiting for you. A perfect day trip destination that'll make you feel like you're stranded on a desert island, minus the actual isolation, of course. No vendors, no crowds, and a 15% chance that the footprints you're passing belong to none other than yourself.
Welcome to la Isla de Enmedio.
Now, Veracruz isn't necessarily known for its beaches. I mean, we're here in the Gulf of Mexico, so it's not necessarily the most beautiful waters. A lot of people think of the gas industry when they think of Gulf of Mexico. I know people from the United States, Galveston is probably the closest thing I can compare the beaches to.
That's right, but today we're looking for a little piece of paradise that exists over here in Veracruz. Right now we're heading to Antón Lizardo to get to this place that we needed to go.
Yeah, it's an island that is just off the coast of Antón Lizardo, so that's probably where we're gonna have our best bet for finding a boat.
So far, so good. So we went from Veracruz, then we passed Boca del Rio, and right now we're driving to the south. Everything is clear, everything is nice. Okay, the details is $500. No, 500 pesos.
Like you're gonna
500
make a
pesos.
bankrupt.
500 pesos per person without equipment because we don't want to snorkel today. But we're very happy because we also find parking.
Oh yeah. We're the first tour that's going to be going to the island today. We have such luck, and fingers crossed. I said maybe we can fly the drone.
Oye, amorcito, porfa, deja de llorar. Nada peligroso va a pasar.
Before we realized that we definitely didn't sign a waiver for that roller coaster of a ride, we arrived at Isla de Enmedio. The welcoming crew of crabs and birds were the first signs of life that appeared on what seemed to be a desert island right out of a movie.
They weren't kidding whenever they said this is a slice of a paradise. This island is tiny, but it's so beautiful. Let's go explore.
What? Oh wow! Look at these little crabs.
It takes around 20 minutes in the boat to get over here to la Isla de Enmedio.
And when you arrive, it is picturesque. It feels like one of those deserted islands that you see in some sort of movie.
It's so funny because you're walking and there's a lot of crabs going in and out.
Yeah, it's so cool. And we've just stepped off the boat. We're gonna have, what, 3 hours here to explore?
Yes.
Which I thought was too much time, but actually, I think it's too little.
Yep.
We have to get a move on.
Let's discover the island. Even though it's small, I think there's a lot of places that we have to see.
Oh, whoa! Breaking news. The mother crab has arrived.
Clearly, we're fascinated by crabs. Once we pull ourselves together, we walk through the trees and towards the lighthouse, where a few locals let us know about the efforts they are making to protect the sea turtles in the area.
So over here, right now, it says the seasons for the turtles to put their eggs. So they put it actually over there, but then some people, they grab the eggs and they put it over here. That's why you cannot enter over here. It's very cool.
In fact, this island is a part of the Veracruz reef system and is a protected site. The coral reefs in this area give the beach that white sand that's so similar to the Caribbean. As you can imagine, it's a great place for snorkeling. But swimming wasn't on our agenda for today, so instead we headed to the other side of the island to the pier.
We found this pier over here and you can see the different blues over here. And over here looks like the Caribbean and over there it's a little bit darker. But if you're coming to La Isla de Enmedio, remember there's no restaurants or stores over here. So you need to bring your own food or drinks. But remember, this is a paradise, so we have to take care of that. Just take your trash with you if you take any.
so glad you brought me to Veracruz. I honestly don't know if I would have ever gone here without knowing you.
It's a very special state for me because this is from the state of my grandfather. So I have roots over here, so I really wanted to show it to you.
Yeah, I am so surprised, and just in general, in Mexico, it's insane to me how many amazing untouched beaches there are like this that I have not heard the rest of the world talking about. I mean, this is just the most picturesque, beautiful place. And I think we're only scratching the surface of what Veracruz has to offer.
That's right, we're very privileged over here in Mexico. And talking about photos.
Oh, it looks like there's literally a photo shoot happening.
That's right.
I'm telling you, this is the place you see on the magazines.
That's right.
As much as we tried to look like models on the beach, we weren't destined for a role in whatever they were working on. And even though it was only 10 a.m., people were ready to swim. If you're planning to come here yourself, just remember that there's absolutely no chairs or umbrellas here, so bring your own stuff or just sit directly in the sand like we did.
We just found this, but everything that you find in the island, you have to leave it over here. It's beautiful. Of course you want to take it, but you have to leave it over here. It's part of nature. As Juliana was saying, I think it's a great message that we have so many beautiful places over here, but in order to keep them the way it is, we have to take care of them. Like for instance over here, there's a rule that it only could be 25 boats in this island or 275 persons at the same time. That's amazing in order to preserve this beautiful reserve.
And just like that, our time was up. We headed back to our boat and noticed 4 more had already arrived, so taking the first boat from Antón Lizardo at 8:30 a.m. was worth it. But it was nearing lunchtime and we had to make one more stop before hitting the road to our next destination in Veracruz.
We made it back to land, and now I can really see the difference. When we arrived here this morning, I thought this was such a charming little fishing village, but you're right, the color of the water is completely different.
That's right. Right now that we're on land, we're hungry, and luckily for us, Veracruz is well known in the entire republic for being one of the best places to have seafood. So that's exactly what we're gonna have.
Yeah, so let's go find a spot here on the beach. There's plenty to choose from, and let's see what today's catch of the day is. Whoopie, come here! Oh my gosh. This beach is actually so cute, the way that they have these kind of palapas set up. It reminds me of, guess where?
Acapulco.
Yep, Acapulco.
Actually, a lot of people, they travel from Mexico City and they drive in order to come over here to this place.
Yeah, as like a different option from Acapulco.
Every time somebody just sits down over here, they offer you to put on a hammock, and it's beautiful.
Yeah, it feels like we have our own private suite here. And actually, a ton of people bring their own food. We were trying to like eye out what spot was best based off of the food we were seeing, but pretty much everybody brought their own.
That's
However,
right. We order a big ceviche so we can share it.
Yeah, a lot of these restaurants do have a menu, so I think ceviche sounds like the perfect thing after today.
It does, totally, totally. I'm glad I took you over here. And also, this is a little peek of how diverse is Veracruz.
Yeah, because next week we have another adventure to a completely different area of Veracruz. Actually, we've left a video here in the middle for you guys to watch next because we're always up to something cool.
That's right.
So long.
Travel well.
And make the world your neighborhood. See you guys next time.
Bye.